So the centre is willing to offer all help to Maharashtra and to other states, because the cabinet secretary, the home secretary, they've been interacting with the chief secretaries. 11 states a cause for grave concern, but of those 11, whether it's Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, these are some states where the situation is worse as of now. But Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, he said no requirement for a lockdown just as yet, but he's requested the centre to ensure that vaccination takes place not just at hospitals but also at special designated areas. It could be community centres, it could be other areas. Only emergency cases need to be taken to hospitals. So he says we'll have ambulances in place, we'll put systems in place, but permit it beyond hospitals too.
As India's vaccination drive gains pace, so does the surge in COVID cases. India is seeing the biggest COVID explosion in the past 6 months. Over 81,000 infections were recorded in a single day. Maharashtra remains India's COVID-19 epicenter. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray urges people to follow norms or face another lockdown.
लॉकडाऊन करणार का? हा प्रश्न अजूनही मी उत्तर देत नाही, पण साधारणतः आत्ताची परिस्थिती काय आहे ह्याची कल्पना आपल्याला देण्याची मला पुन्हा एकदा गरज वाटते.
In Maharashtra, Mumbai remains the worst hit city. Despite the government's repeated appeals, people continue to violate COVID norms openly. The night curfew is already in place across the state. The Pune administration has announced stricter night curbs for the next 7 days, shutting bars, restaurants and hotels. No public functions except funerals and weddings are allowed in the city. It is not just Maharashtra which is bearing the brunt of COVID's second wave. India's capital on Friday reported more than 3,500 cases. The Delhi government has decided not to impose any curbs for now.
अभी जो स्थिति है, सरकार में लॉकडाउन किसी भी तरह का करने का कोई विचार नहीं है. भविष्य में अगर ज़रूरत कभी पड़ेगी तो मैं आपसे बातचीत करके ऐसा कोई निर्णय लिया जाएगा, लेकिन अभी फ़िलहाल कोई लॉकडाउन करने का सरकार का निर्णय नहीं, सरकार का विचार नहीं है.
The surge in COVID cases comes as a wake-up call. This week, as the country celebrated Holi, social distancing and mask guidelines were thrown to the wind at many places. Uttarakhand is holding the Mahakumbh, which is expecting millions over the next few days.
There is a threat to becoming a hotspot, looking at the massive gathering that is expected over the months, as the Mahakumbh, one of the biggest religious festival, which is starting from today. However, the authorities are geared up, prepared to deal with this massive crisis. But indeed, this is going to be a challenging task for all of them.
With the cases spiraling in several states, the centre faces the tough challenge of controlling the second wave without imposing restrictions that could hurt the economy. The vaccination drive, that is now open to all above the age of 45, remains the best bet to check the new wave. Bureau Report, India Today.
Dr. Rajesh Parekh of Jaslok Hospital, Mumbai, Dr. Harsh Mahajan of Mahajan Imaging, Delhi, join me on the broadcast. But before I come to our guests, I want to quickly cut across to India Today's Milan Sharma. Milan, what explains this sudden spike in cases, and are people taking it too easy? Is there this impression that hona to sabko hai, let's go through this? Or is there a genuine fear that in the second case and the new mutant, these cases, God forbid, could be fatal?
Well, you said it, Gaurav. People have now developed COVID fatigue, and which is why they have become very lax when it comes to following COVID-appropriate norms, wearing a mask or social distancing. In fact, the mutant strains are also together leading to a rise in cases, especially in the state of Maharashtra. The government has already announced numbers that UK, Brazil and South African variants are circulating. We've also seen a new double mutation in the variants that are there, and the government has declared this. This together is leading to a rise in the cases of coronavirus. Delhi is not far behind. Why should we just talk about Maharashtra? Gujarat is looking at higher number of deaths. And certainly this is what is the problem. Meanwhile, vaccination numbers are also not picking up as much as they should. India has now crossed about 7 crore people who have been vaccinated, but more needs to be done, which is why Delhi Chief Minister was asking for a universal vaccination for all above the age of 18 years, which is certainly the need of the hour.
Fair enough, but let me take this to Dr. Parekh and also Dr. Harsh Mahajan. Dr. Parekh, is this COVID fatigue? Is there this impression that there may be more cases, but these are not going to be fatal the way that fear was last year? And is that fear justified or unjustified? Are people, not following norms the way they should? And could this lead to more fatalities, not in youngsters perhaps, but in their kith, in their kin, in the elderly, in the family, sir?
Gaurav, good evening. A pleasure to be with you as always. These are rhetorical questions, Gaurav. The answers to the questions are all there in the visuals, the graphic visuals that you showed us before the program. And on what your ground correspondents like Milan have been telling us, that yes, it's an element of everything. There is a degree of fatigue which is understandable. But what is not understandable is that the voice of science, which is usually a quiet voice of reason and uncertainties, is being ignored. And there is another voice of arrogance, of self-confidence, of bravado, which seems to be gaining momentum. But what I find is a very welcome change, Gaurav, and I'm sure somebody as astute as you would have noticed it immediately, and that is a certain harmony in the conversation that is coming up from politicians. I speak Marathi fluently, and I love the language.
Yes.
And when the Chief Minister spoke, he spoke in a humble way, but he also alluded to what the Prime Minister said. And a little while ago, the visual that you showed us showed that the Home Minister also talked about cooperating with the Chief Minister. So there seems to be a certain harmony now building. I think people are recognizing this is a common problem for all of us, and if you have to solve it, we have to work together.
Sure. So this isn't a center versus state. And Dr. Mahajan, in Delhi Chief Minister says, why just 45 and above? Why not 18 and above? And why restricted just to hospitals? Why not at community centers? Designate an area. We'll take SOPs. Only emergency cases may need to be taken to hospital. We'll have an ambulance standby. Is that doable, sir?
I think that makes sense, Gaurav. And also the fact that, what we saw last time when the 60 plus and those with comorbidities over 45 were included in the vaccination, for the first 10, 12 days, there were a lot of people who got vaccinated. And then the numbers fell off as the enthusiasts were all done and the hesitants were left. Similarly, I think the 45 plus have come into the fold, all 45 plus since yesterday. So maybe give or take another 2 weeks. After that, it makes sense, especially in areas which have burgeoning numbers of infected people. Delhi today was nearly 3,600. I think it makes sense that all who are willing to get vaccinated above the age of 18 years should be allowed to get vaccinated. At least a large proportion of the population of that state or that city would have the opportunity. And ultimately, it is about saving yourself. And when you get vaccinated, you're also helping your whole community and city as a whole. So I think that makes sense. Now, on the question of whether the logistics are in place, well, it has been seen, I think yesterday, the country did 37 lakh, jabs. And even in Delhi, the numbers were very, very high. If we open more of these vaccination centers, which are nearer to the community, maybe within a kilometer, 2 kilometers of where most people live, I think that will also create some enthusiasm.
Okay, Dr. Parikh, there doesn't appear to be vaccine hesitancy, at least at this stage. People seem to be going for vaccination. 71,000, the Delhi Chief Minister said today, was the target that achieved. 96,000 is Delhi's capacity as of now. So they're hoping to achieve that. Is that also your appreciation? Don't just restrict it to hospitals, whether government or private. Open it up, have specially designated areas, let people come, get vaccinated. In case there's an odd emergency, they can be rushed to a hospital in an ambulance, because it will have to be perhaps done now. You heard the Chief Minister, he said we only have a 15-day window. After 15 days, we may run out of facilities, or we may just be, using those facilities to their limits, sir.
Absolutely, Gaurav. But let us bear in mind always that vaccine hesitancy is just one variable. It's not the only variable impacting what's happening in terms of vaccination, and as a corollary to that, in terms of the spread of the infection. You know, they say a single picture is worth 1,000 words. May I share a graph with you, which will show us a relative comparison of what's happening in India vis-a-vis the rest of the world. And this is dated the 29th of March, relatively recent. I'm not sure if this is clearly visible on the screen, because I'm covering my face.
Okay.
But, you know, if you look at the graphs, you realize that the US and the UK, which made a lot of errors, you know, serious errors in the beginning of the pandemic, have corrected themselves mid-course, have learned from the errors that they did. And the UK is now vaccinated more than 50% of its eligible population. The US is nearly at 44%. They've crossed that actually today. And if you look at Germany, France, it's at 15%. France, as you're aware, the entire country has been locked down yesterday. Look at the world, but look at our figures. They are below 5%. Now, at those numbers, we are just entertaining an illusion of herd immunity in the near future. You know, France is going through its third wave right now. The conservative President Emmanuel Macron was completely against the lockdown. He just locked down Paris initially. But now he has declared a national lockdown for 1 month, something which nobody wanted. Yes. So if our vaccine drive accelerates, if it opens up, as you have suggested, and as well, we've been saying, you know, even before the vaccination started, it is important to open up. There's one very important thing you brought up, because I'm a little concerned about these dichotomies we keep making between states, between high-rise and slum, and, you know, give theories for it. You know, there was robust data on the antibody prevalence, the serological data, as far back as September and October. We referred to that data when we wrote a policy paper in December, which anticipated the second wave, but more important, what we should do. And what we suggested is, other than stratifying and prioritizing only according to age, although that was an important variable, we have to look at potential hotspots. So areas which had low seroprevalence, perhaps one could open up for everybody, and be a little more cautious in the areas which had a high seroprevalence. Now we are seeing that the hotspots are exactly in the areas where the data indicated they would be. So we need to learn along. We need to be flexible. A lot of great steps are being taken, and I'm in concurrence with what Dr. Mahajan said. But we need to move very fast. Otherwise, the crest of the second wave will hit the vaccination program. And as happened in Israel a couple of months ago, the vaccination program would come to a halt, because vaccination centers could become spreader events. And, you know, Israel got around that and now has vaccinated almost 100% of its population. We are a larger country, but we need to move very, very fast.
As many as you can. But, you know, since you talk about the crest of the second wave, Dr. Mahajan, in your appreciation, how long is this wave likely to last? If we keep vaccinating, and the government really needs to do that, that's not happening enough. 30 days, 60 days, because as Milan was saying, as you've been pointing out, that fatigue seems to have set in, and people said, "Jo hoga dekha jayega." At least kaam to karo, let the economy keep functioning. Let's not have another lockdown. That's what people seem to be thinking. 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 4 months, or even longer. You know, this second wave.
See, Gaurav, there have been a lot of mathematical calculations that have been done ever since this pandemic started last year. most of them came out to be wrong. There is one that says that, the peak of this wave is going to be somewhere around the 20th of April. But, irrespective of where the peak is going to be, the action needs to be taken on the ground now. And it's not only the government that it needs to act, and it has been acting actually both in the states as well as the center. But each individual citizen needs to look after himself, because the way we are behaving, the way we saw the holy celebrations, the way we see, parties, social gatherings, marriages where no one is wearing a mask. Even you go to the markets, they are packed and the masks are generally near the chin. If we continue that, then definitely the peak is going to keep going up and up. And maybe we'll reach, the ultimate peak 3 months down the line. And believe you me, even if the young are getting, more of the young getting infected now, as time goes on, it's the old that are going to die. And irrespective of how quickly we do the vaccination, how much we expand it, how rapidly we expand it, we have a huge population. So herd immunity is really a mirage. It's a dream that for this country will take a long, long time. A mix of people getting infected and having immunity naturally, and those who've been vaccinated. So the best vaccine is the mask. Please wear the mask. Please wear it, because without that, and you do know that even when you have been fully vaccinated, even 2 weeks down the line from the second jab, it will protect you from a serious illness. It will protect you from hospitalization. But you can still get infected. You will have a mild or asymptomatic disease based on the efficacy of the vaccine, but you can transmit it to others. The vaccine helps in reducing transmission. We don't know by how much.
Yes.
So the way that we have to keep following COVID-appropriate behavior, the mask, the hand hygiene, and social distancing.
Yes.
If we don't do that, in the size of our country, it's going to be catastrophic.
Dr. Parekh, the way we are going as of now, at this point of time, the way you see things around, the way center is working, states are working, the way people are working, in your appreciation, what do you see happen 15 days from now?
Well, 15 days from now, I see, as the Chief Minister predicted, that beds are filling up, and we will need to escalate that. I see that there will still be a conversation of lockdown. Perhaps it might happen. But if I may, Gaurav, and since we are towards the end of the program, I'd like to end on a positive note. And we should not forget the words of Abraham Lincoln during the American Civil War, when his side, the Union, was losing terribly, and people came around him. And, he solemnly said, this too shall pass. So inevitably, this too shall pass. That's been the nature of violence across history. What we really need to make sure is that we work together, accelerate our vaccination, take individual precautions.
This too shall pass, but didn't you also predict a third wave after this? So have you also not predicted a third wave? Which could God forbid,
how
be
much
even
time
worse?
do you have in the program? Because I believe it ends at 10:30. That's what I was told. 30 seconds.
No,
quickly,
go on.
quickly,
30 seconds, please go on.
This graph very quickly. I won't belabor the point. You can see
don't show me the
three
graph.
distinct
I'd
waves.
rather hear from you. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so there were 3 distinct waves in the pandemic of 100 years ago, which caused enormous devastation. 100 million people died. That's the equivalent of 450 million people today. And in that, the third wave was worse than the first wave, though smaller than the second wave. It is in the nature of these viral pandemics that, like tsunamis, there are multiple waves. But the amplitude of that wave can be controlled if we start acting now. We need to get together and work on the third wave now, and we may be able to prevent it, or if not, we may be able to reduce its severity.
Because Dr. Mahajan, we are not fear-mongering. We are only trying to state facts and alert the people that this fatigue is is just not an option, at least not at this stage. There's a second wave, God forbid, a third wave, and that is why, like you said, remain masked up. What else? The 3 mantras that people must follow.
Absolutely correct, Gaurav. And also do remember that mutations are happening as we speak. And, you know, the only way that you can protect yourself from any mutant is the mask. Because the vaccine may or may not be effective against a new mutant, but the mask will remain effective.
I will let that be the last word on the show. Remain masked up if you're in public. Maintain that social distance. Do wash your hands as often as possible. Hand hygiene, as both the good doctors have said, extremely essential. Many thanks for joining me. As always, it's a pleasure to have you on the broadcast.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.